All right, today we're going to talk about a word you probably hear, I don't know, a dozen times a day. A word that seems so simple. But believe it or not, it's holding a pretty fascinating secret about how language can work for everyone. And that word is advertisement.
Okay, so check this out. Right off the bat, things get a little complicated. If you're in the UK, you're likely to hear advertisement. But hop over to the US and it becomes advertisement. See that? Same word, same meaning, but even how we say it is a whole different world. A little split right down the middle.
But honestly, the pronunciation? That's just scratching the surface. That's not the real secret. There's something way more interesting going on with this word, something that connects it to this huge, incredible idea about how we can all talk to each other no matter where we're from.
And here it is. This is the big reveal. According to the Simple English Wiktionary, advertisement isn't just any old word. It's on a very special list, the Basic English 850 list, which probably has you asking, what on earth is that?
Just let that number sink in for a second. 850. The full English language has, over 1 million words? And this system boils everything you need to say down to just 850. That is an incredibly small, super focused set of words.
So yeah, that leads us to the big question, doesn't it? What is this basic English system, and why, out of 1 million+ words, would a word like advertisement make the final cut? All right, let's unpack this idea. Because basic English, well, it's not just some random list of easy words. No, it's a whole system, and it was designed with a really big, really ambitious goal in mind.
So here's the deal. It's a stripped-down version of English, built on this foundation of just 850 words that are meant to cover pretty much everything you need for everyday life. It was actually created way back in the 1930s by a linguist named C.K. Ogden, and his whole vision was to create a simple tool for international communication. And this is the core philosophy. The point was never to dumb down ideas. Not at all. It's actually the opposite. It's about making a clear, universal tool so that anyone from any background can share really big, complex ideas with each other. It's all about empowerment. So, that's the theory. But how does it actually play out in the real world? Well, let's go right back to where we started, to our word advertisement, and see how its entry in the Simple English Wiktionary shows these principles in action. It's a perfect case study.
We're going to really put this word under the microscope now. Let's break down its entry, piece by piece, and you'll see exactly why it's such a great example of what basic English is all about.
First, just look at how it's defined. There's no complicated jargon, no $10 words. It's just explained using other simple words. A public notice, pictures and writing. Many people can see. You get it instantly. It's just crystal clear. And then there's this, which is really clever. It shows you the building blocks. You have the verb, advertise, and you add the little suffix, ment. This is a huge part of the system. The idea is, if you learn the simple root words, you can figure out tons of other words without having to memorize each one. It's efficient. But get this, it's not restrictive. The system gives you options. Look at all these synonyms. Ad, announcement, poster, commercial. Every single one of them is a common, easy word you already know. So you can say the same thing in different ways, which gives you flexibility without making things complicated.
And finally, the example sentence. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's simple, it's direct, and it paints a perfect mental picture. An advertisement for fruit on the wall. It had a big picture of an apple. Anyone, absolutely anywhere in the world can understand that. It just works.
So, let's zoom out. We've just done a pretty deep dive on one humble word. But what's the big takeaway here? What's the point of all this? Why does any of this matter?
Well, I think it all boils down to this. Using simple language isn't about simple thinking. It's actually the exact opposite. It's an incredibly powerful and smart choice you can make to ensure your ideas actually land, that they have an impact, and that as many people as possible can understand what you're trying to say. Because at the end of the day, that's what communication is all about, right? Whether you're using a system like Basic English, or you're just trying to get a point across at work or with your family, the goal is always the same. It's about building bridges with our words, not walls. It's about connection. So, I'll leave you with a question to chew on. Think about the most important, most complicated thing you know, something you're passionate about. Now, how would you explain that idea using only the simplest words you can think of? Give it a try. The answer might be more powerful than you imagine.